Very good morning, friends. The Ministry of Finance is propelled by the excellent GST collections, and now the income tax revamping seems to be the next on the agenda. We have already seen upheaval of the income tax website, and now the CBDT has published for public comments a new Common ITR Form which would merge ITR 1 to ITR 6. ITR 7 of course would continue. As we all know that there are always two motives of any change in a tax law, and if it is such a humongous change which upheavals a process which is continuing, there are always two motives. One of course is ease of business, and the second of course is to increase the tax base due to the ease of the business and to increase the tax collections. While this form certainly is a welcome step which will facilitate ease of business, yet there are additional details, additional reconciliations with third party data for which industry and taxpayers need to be prepared so that they can fill up these forms and do not invite questions also from the income tax department and field officers. So even after the notification of the Common ITR Form, ITR 1 to 4 would continue for the individual and HUFs. However, ITR 5 for firms and LLPs and ITR 6 for companies, that is the two forms of businesses, that may be done away with, but individuals, HUFs which are filing ITR 1 and 4 may get the opportunity of either continuing with the old dispensation or coming into the new dispensation of the Common ITR Form. Further, if you see the publication by the CBDT, it is a 169 page publication. Annexure A, B, C and D has the draft ITR forms and a prototype of the ITR forms for firms, LLPs and companies, which you can go through and provide your suggestions by 15th of December 2022. What are the changes in this form vis-a-vis the earlier forms? First, to make the form simple, it is proposed that there would be around 25 to 30 wizard questions in the beginning of the form. So as of now, you are required to at least go through all the schedules, even though those schedules might not be of relevance to you. For example, even if you do not have an exempt income, you have to go through the schedule of exempt income. You do not have a foreign asset, you have to go through the schedule of foreign asset. But now the moment you answer the wizard question in no, you do not have a foreign asset, you do not have an exempt income, then the schedule would not be visible to you at all for even going through, and you do not need to fill up those corresponding schedules at all. So to that extent, these Common ITR Form would reduce the time limit for filling up the ITR form. So only those schedules wherein you have answered the wizard question as yes would be appearing on your screen. For example, again, if you have a capital gain on sale of share which is taxable under section 112 capital A, and you tick the corresponding wizard question, then only that part, that schedule which requires the details of capital gain taxable under 112A would crop up, and you need to fill up only that part on and not the other parts. So, to this extent you need to be careful also while filling up the wizard questions. In case you miss filling up the wizard question, or if you fill up the wizard question inadvertently, erroneously, then that might result in wrong filling up of ITR form and a corresponding query from the income tax department. Friends, another feature of this common ITR form are the various reconciliation statement which it requires. Now, as you know, from the last 2 years there are AIS and TIS information which has third party information propping up in your income tax portal. With that you have to reconcile and fill up accordingly. Now those AIS, TIS information would be automatically filled up in your common ITR form, and just like GST, in case you wish to change them, then that should be with corresponding explanations so as to avoid a query or a question from the income tax department. So, for specifically businesses and those with foreign income and which have various transactions with third parties, those taxpayers need to be careful before they change this data, and they should have suitable explanations and informations available before they change the AIS and TIS data, which would be auto populated in these forms. One very important change in these forms is that it requires a reconciliation between the GST turnover and the books turnover. We all know that the GST registered taxpayers, if their turnover is more than 5 crore of rupees, have to fill up the GSTR 9C, wherein they do require to reconcile the GST turnover with their books turnover. Now the same exercise, it seems, requires to be repeated even in the ITR form. To this extent, we feel that there is duplication of work, and this might be put up for public comments and might be put up with a note to the CBDT. Certain other critical additional informations which are required is, in case you claim a write-off of bad debt where the value of one debtor is more than 1 lakh rupees, then you have to fill up the debtor wise PAN number and the amount where you have claimed a bad debt of more than 1 lakh rupees. Similarly, investment wise details, loan wise details are required to be filled up. Also, for those businesses which are claiming presumptive taxation, a lot of further details need to be disclosed by them, like secured, unsecured loans, inventories, fixed assets, etc. So, specifically it seems that businesses, trade and industry would require to divulge much more details now in this common ITR form as compared to the earlier ITR form, and hence trade and industry needs to go through this form in detail and provide their comments and suggestions and recommendations to the CBDT before 15th of December 2022, before the form is finally notified, and they need to be ready for filling up this common ITR form. Thank you very much. Do subscribe to this channel for further updates on income tax, GST, customs, foreign trade related matters. Do share this video for maximum dissemination of knowledge. Thank you very much. Stay tuned.